D. H. Lawrence's short story The Blind Man, part of his 1922 collection, England, My England, revolves around a war veteran who returns home after losing his sight in combat. Isabel Pervin, his wife, awaits the arrival of two sounds at their farmhouse, the Grange. One is the carriage announcing the visit of her old friend and distant cousin, Bertie Reid, and the other is her husband, Maurice Pervin, coming in from the stables. Maurice lost his sight during World War I on Flanders fields, and he has been back home for a year now. Isabel is pregnant for the second time, but their first child had passed away in infancy. Despite the challenges they face, their life together holds a unique richness that they did not experience before Maurice's injury and blindness. However, Maurice often battles with bouts of depression, and Isabel struggles to resist succumbing to the same emotions. To combat this, she invites friends to visit, but both she and Maurice find comfort in solitude. Surprisingly, Maurice agrees to have Bertie visit, even though they didn't get along before his blindness, leading to a rift in their friendship. But after 2 years of silence, Bertie sends Isabel a note expressing his sorrow over Maurice's condition and suggesting putting up a tombstone to their dead friendship. Isabel mentions the note to Maurice, who unexpectedly proposes that Bertie should visit them. That night, Bertie is expected to arrive. As Isabel steps out of the house to find her husband, she meets Mrs. Wernham, the head servant, who is serving dinner to the rest of the staff in the farm kitchen. They discuss the gloomy atmosphere of autumn and winter when darkness falls early. Mrs. Wernham offers to send a staff member to fetch Maurice from the stables, but Isabel insists on going herself. In the wind and rain, she searches for Maurice in the dark stables. At first, they can't see each other, but eventually, they find their way back to the main house, both feeling nervous without understanding the source of their anxiety. Maurice goes upstairs to change his clothes in preparation for Bertie's arrival. Lawrence describes Maurice's experience as a blind man. He finds a certain intimacy and understanding when he touches objects, going beyond mere visual recognition. However, sometimes this connection becomes overwhelming, leading to moments of darkness and depression that both he and Isabel dread. Finally, Bertie arrives, and Isabel welcomes him. He inquires about Maurice's condition, and Isabel shares that her husband is handling his blindness remarkably well. The three of them have an awkward dinner together. When Bertie picks up a flower from the table and smells it, Isabel suggests that Maurice do the same. As Bertie hands the flower to Maurice, their fingers briefly touch, and Bertie experiences an odd sense of revulsion. After the meal, Maurice excuses himself from the table before the others. Bertie reflects on the difficulty of losing one's sight, feeling that something essential would always be missing. Isabel agrees, acknowledging that Maurice is right. There is something intangible, something they never knew was there, and yet, they cannot put it into words. Bertie leaves to find Maurice, and when they are alone, Maurice expresses his desire to touch Bertie's face. Though hesitant, Bertie reluctantly allows it. However, after the brief encounter, he displays visible revulsion, as if he has been affected by Maurice's feelings of disillusionment. Watching Bertie's reaction, Isabel senses that he yearns to escape from the newfound intimacy and friendship that has been thrust upon him. The Blind Man is a beautifully written story that captures the post-war ennui and malaise experienced by many Britons in the aftermath of the traumatic nationwide events caused by World War I. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.